So, firstly, I just want to apologise that um, my background is so weird. This is looking like an interview, and this is the first time I've used this mic, so I don't know how close to hold it to my face. So, today I wanted to speak about the 12 laws of the universe. These are laws that have helped me mentally, and that if you're feeling a bit stuck or unsure or out of touch, they can help with all of those things and bring you back to sort of center, really, or just help you figure out something in life that you might be having struggles with, or to use to your advantage. So, this is a part one, and I will be doing a part two as well, but let's get into them. So, the first law is the law of divine oneness. This law basically just states that everything is interconnected, from thoughts to action, every action you take, and the entire consciousness, so the entire universe and everyone else within it. So, this belief or law can help you bring purpose into everything you think or do. In other words, everything you think, do, say, any event, outcome, result matters. In a lonely world, this can bring a sense of peace and connection. A similar concept is found in Buddhism, and it's called interdependence. And it basically just means that um, nothing would exist without everything in it, in the sense of you wouldn't be here without your parents, you wouldn't be here if every act, thought, event, or belief, whatever else, basically, didn't happen in the exact way that it did happen throughout humanity. So that theory is all great, but what I want to do is ground this into practicality. So how can you actually put this into your life and benefit from it? So for example, smile at the delivery driver. It might be the only person that they see that day, and you don't know what effect that could have on someone. It could have a huge cascade in their life and make them feel like they're not alone, make their day, week, momentum built, change the course of someone else's life. I know it might seem small, but these things really can make a big impact. Maybe not just smiling at them, wishing them a good day, that type of thing. Just generally being warm and friendly. They might be lonely and not talk to anyone else. Another way to go about this is to maybe meditate on how many people have told you that they're grateful to have you in their life? Or better yet, if you struggle with that, tell other people that you're grateful to have them in your life. This can seem weird at first. There's no other way to say that. But the joy you can bring to someone else can really light you up and make you feel a lot better. This will bring joy to both you and them, and you are making a difference by doing small things like that. Compound them, you make a completely different life for someone else and yourself. So try and do it as consistently as possible. So if you ever feel like you don't matter or you feel alone, keep this in mind and practice it as much as possible to benefit your life and others. But in short, your thoughts and actions do matter. And if you need further evidence that this law is in at play, then just think about all of the processes and stages that just one piece of food needs to get on your table for you to eat it, let alone your entire weekly shop. So the second law of the laws of the universe is the law of vibration. This basically just states that everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency and is in a constant state of motion, and that our thoughts, emotions, and actions all emit a certain frequency. There have been studies on this just separately that do actually show this, so go have a look. It's interesting. So higher frequencies are associated with positive emotions, while negative emotions are associated with lower frequencies. So realizing this can be helpful because you can harbor or do more of the things that bring you positive frequencies or emotions, and collate them together if you want to feel a certain type of way. Or separately, negative isn't inherently bad. You can learn how to process this and just know that it's a certain vibration that needs to process. And in order to get to the good, you do have to go from negative into positive, and that is a process. And this flux isn't a destination, it's a constant practice. So if you want to raise your vibration, do something that lights you up, like dancing, singing, calling a friend, having a laugh, watching some comedy, simple things. One way that gets me in a good mood pretty fast, and I took this from Tony Robbins, is to put your hands on your hips, close or open your eyes, either way, and think about all of the things that you've achieved. Try and picture them as vividly as possible, and shout yes. Do like a so hands on your hips, both either side. Think of the thing and shout yes. So really embody that emotion that that thing gave you. Or alternatively, think of things in the future that you want to achieve that make you feel good and light you up, and shout yes as well. Try and get a few in a row. Maybe a balance of things you did do and want to do. Maybe today, next week, next year, this year, doesn't matter. And by connecting to these positive frequencies, you will feel a positive charge. Like I say, trust me on this one, it is weird at first, but give it a go. Another easy way is at night, write the things you're most grateful for. So the third law of the universe is the law of correspondence. So this law states that patterns can be recognized throughout the universe, both at small and at large, and they correspond, so they're the same, or have a relationship where they mirror each other. So these patterns repeat just at different scales. So for example, if you're thinking or feeling a certain way, chances are that pattern is repeated with other people. So again, this law makes you realize that this is repeated throughout the universe, and you don't have to feel so alone. So check in on a friend or a loved one and see if they're feeling the same way, and try and work through it together. Be there for each other in that. Celebrate it. Celebrate positive emotions if they need to be celebrated. Just hold space for someone on negative emotions and just let them know that you're there for them, and vice versa, if you can do that. So one way the law of correspondence can be helpful on a practical level is that patterns do repeat. And so if you want to notice a pattern, maybe start journaling. If you journal every single day, then you'll be able to go back to, let's say, the 3rd of September and know that you were in a good space right then and we're in a good mood, high energy, whatever else. And that pattern, because you've noted it, you can go back to and repeat. You know that that's a recipe for your happiness. Or on the flip side, you can go back to a certain point of time and know that that pattern or recipe is a recipe for feeling bad, and replicate that if you want to replicate it, or avoid it if you want to avoid it, or a merger of the two. This will help you move into alignment for your life and ultimately build the life that you want. So the fourth law is the law of attraction. So the law of attraction basically states that like attracts like. So by focusing on positive thoughts or feelings, we can attract positive experiences in our lives. So a practical example of this, or application of this, would be to create a vision board. Detail it as much as you can, just detailing what you want out of life, what you'd want to achieve, what lights you up. So whether that's goals, images, quotes, name as many as you can, and make it your own. This is difficult to do when my dog is sniffing me right now, and she's confused. So if you struggle to know what you do want, work backwards, work out what you don't want, and it'll be the opposite of that. Then create a vision board based on that. Put this vision board somewhere you'll see it all the time, where you can see it and connect with it daily. Tell yourself every single day that you can do this, connect with it, and then write down one tiny or big action towards it that you can do to make it come to life that much more. You don't have to do this every day, but try and do it as much as possible. Keep that momentum alive and keep the dream alive. keep that emotion in your body, build a connection with it, make it habit. If that's every day, some weeks, great. If it's once a week, great. It doesn't matter how big or small you're working towards it, just work towards it. Just keep in mind that you can create this. So that moves us on nicely to the fifth law, so the law of inspired action. This law basically states that intentions are powerful, but in order to actually make them become reality, you need to take action towards those goals. And also pay attention to when you are feeling inspired and work with that energy flow, because then it'll be more seamless and you'll do better and it'll be easier. Inspired action comes from a place of intuition and creation, and when you do it, it feels like you're with the stream rather than against it. So if you are feeling inspired, sit down and write out your goals. And then when you write out your goals, write out tiny actions you could take today towards them to make them come to life or move that much closer to it. Make it as manageable and consistent as possible. Doesn't matter how small you're moving towards that goal. If you hit 10% of those tasks today, that is 10% further than you were. But pay attention to that intuition and feeling. If you feel inspired to start a new hobby or create content or call a loved one or friend, listen to it, act on it. This will keep momentum alive and on your side. This momentum will come and go, however, and that's okay. You don't have to burn yourself out. The point of it is to work with it and make this law benefit you. These intentions and actions will lead you into the life that is meant for you. I truly believe that they are callings to your future life or fulfillment or alignment that you should listen to and move towards, and will bring you whatever you're looking for, even if you don't know it consciously. But keep in mind, work at a pace and a timing that is right for you. When you feel inspired, work towards it. Yes, great. But don't put so much pressure on it that you strip away the inspiration. The point of it is to listen to yourself and body and this emotion and feeling, because it is a guide. And the sixth law, so the final law that I will be doing in this part one, is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So this law basically states that energy is always transmuting or moving or changing. So going from one thing to another or changing shape or form in some way. So we personally have the power to take energy and transmute it and transform it into anything that we want. So just to focus on thoughts and feelings that we want to. Positive energy and mindset can change a bad situation to a good one. So an example of this is if you're feeling stuck or negative, transmute that energy. So take that negative energy and transform it into something else. So dance, shake, go for a walk, listen to some upbeat music, whatever it is, run, exercise. These are all powerful ways to change your energy, frequency, and mood, and then ultimately the outcome that you want. So one way I like to change stuck energy on top of that would be helpful for you, I hope, is if you are struggling with an issue or multiple issues, journal them. Write them all out. Even doing that, just making it objective, can take energy out of your head and onto paper where it's no longer bothering you as much. So the first step of that process is, for each issue, like I say, is this real? If it's not real, cross it out, get rid of it. You don't have to be thinking about it or worrying about it. Just made up. You want to be able to get rid of as many of these issues as possible to transform this energy. Now, the second part of this test is this really real? This just allows you to, if you're in an emotional state, just have that extra sort of step to make sure you're being logical about this. Not that emotions are bad, but the point of this is to take these emotions and to get rid of them ultimately, if that's what you want to do, or just transform this energy into whatever way you want. But regardless, so is this really real? The point of this is to, again, cross it out if it's not real. If you're thinking about it or it's a made up situation in your head that you don't know to happen, cross it off. It's not worth your time or energy. Move on. So the third step of this process is, can I accept this? If you can accept it, great. That reduces your suffering, is relieving, and ultimately transforms the energy in the way you want. In other words, stop creating your own suffering. I am a sucker for this, so this exercise really helps me. And the fourth step of this process is, if you can't accept it, can I do something despite its presence? So, for example, can I go for a walk? Can I give it time? Can I exercise? Can I do something that makes me feel good regardless? If so, go do that thing, put it to a side, and just come back to it, or do whatever what you wrote down was. Write a solution, basically. And hopefully that should leave you with a solution or no issues on your page that you can't either let go, accept, or do something about. And that can transform that stuck negative energy into you gaining back control and transmuting it. So this can be really soothing and has helped me plenty. So I will be doing a part 2 of this. My goal on this page, although may seem cringy, and just in general, is to reduce suffering and increase joy. So anything I do will be for those reasons. That and maybe some creativity and fulfillment in there as well. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helps.